is Kyle Shanahan willing to draft a quarterback in round one? All these people are saying like, oh, who's his type? Is he a Mac Jones kind of guy, or is he a Justin Fields kind of guy? He was a CJ Beathard kind of guy 4 years ago. He didn't like any of those dudes in round one. I mean, there's not much of a track record here, but do you think he's willing to draft a quarterback in round one? Why or why not?
I do. I think he's willing to draft a quarterback in round one, but it's all about how it happens.
Yeah.
I think that he is a lot more likely to do what we just talked about, which is trading back to gain assets and draft a quarterback, than he is to throwing everything that he has at trading up to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that's his MO. I think that he believes there are 2 or 3 guys that he likes that he feels like he can get a little bit later. Plus, he's Shanahan. He's super smart. He can make any of them work. And why not trade back to get assets versus trading up? I just, if you look at the way that the 49ers have done things, they will trade back into the first round, but all their first round picks, they've traded back or stayed right where they were at. They have not traded up.
Interesting. I feel like Kyle Shanahan would be willing in certain contexts to take a quarterback. Like he said that he really wanted Josh Allen and would have taken him in round one in 2017. Maybe, but he didn't want Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, a lot of these guys. I feel like Shanahan, if he sees a quarterback that he feels is a no doubt about it, John Elway, Steve Young type of guy, then yeah, you make an exception. But otherwise, there's a lot of downside from taking quarterback in round one. All of a sudden, he becomes the most powerful person in the organization at 21, 22 years old. He calls shots. Yeah. He had that experience with RG3. If you don't, there's a lot of pressure on you as a coach. If you don't turn that guy into a great quarterback, it's your fault. And you get replaced. Whereas there's no pressure if you draft a guy in round 2 or round 3. No one's expecting you to turn him into a stud. And if you do, you're a genius. You know what I'm saying? I think he looks at these round 1 quarterbacks. It's like, okay, now you have all the power in the organization. All the pressure's on me, and now my career is tied to some 21-year-old, 22-year-old who may not even love the game as much as I do, doesn't work as hard as I do, isn't the kind of grinder that his backup is. Right. I feel like that's been Shanahan's attitude his whole life, and I feel maybe he doesn't consciously think it, but he's going to find reasons not to draft a quarterback in round 1. That's just my gut feeling, and I can't justify it. I can't.
What did you just say about Josh Allen? Repeat that to me real quick.
He said he was going to draft Josh Allen in round 1 of the 2017 draft, but he didn't get the opportunity to.
If he fell to him, he would draft him.
If he fell to him, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, again, his MO is not to trade up. I do not believe he's going to trade up for any of these guys. If he loves somebody.
That's what Washington did for RG3.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But they were forced to. That was ownership.
Yeah. That was what he didn't want to do, and he convinced him to let him take Kirk Cousins as well.
Yeah, so I guess if Jed York forces him to, sure, I could see it happening, but I don't believe that York will do that. And even then, when they did take RG3, you're right, they took Kirk Cousins. Why? Because Kirk Cousins was a guy that they wanted. He was a Shanahan type guy.
Yes.
So that's somebody they could develop, and he's hung his hat on him for his whole career. I mean, he's the reason that Kirk is so good, according to the league. So, yeah, that's
Kyle. Yeah.
So he's definitely not trading up. If the right guy falls to him, maybe, but more likely he trades back.
Maybe Mac Jones is the right guy. I could see him being interested in Mac Jones in round 2 or round 3, but round 1, I do think he's looking for John Elway or someone that he perceives as having that. He passed on Patrick Mahomes. So if he's going to take Mac Jones after, I don't know, man. We'll see.
That's because Kirk Cousins was going to fall in his lap.
Supposedly. Well, yeah, it was really going to work out.